It's one of the biggest struggles for any new parent, night after night of broken sleep. But when Laura and Chris Hewitt's daughter Celeste was 7 months old, they found her sleeping habits were only getting more challenging.
She was taking a long time to get to sleep at night, up to an hour, which was really stressful. And the other thing was she was only sleeping very short naps. So maximum she would do is 30 minutes, and then we would have to try and battle her to try and get any extra time. We weren't really getting along very well because we were constantly arguing about how we could help her sleep better, who was going to settle her next time. We were walking around the house on eggshells because we didn't want to wake her up. And we were both not in a very good place with our mental health.
No, I think as first-time parents, we had very high expectations on ourselves for the amount of sleep that she should be getting. And if we were failing to meet those expectations, I feel that we were letting her down.
After trying every trick in the baby book to get Celeste sleeping soundly, an exhausted Laura and Chris decided to visit Tweddle, Melbourne's oldest baby sleep school.
I didn't know what to expect from sleep school. I hadn't really had a lot of friends who'd used the service. Initially, we got into day stay. So that was when we came in just for a Saturday and had one of the clinicians with us to help us learn how to settle Celeste. It was actually a bit of a disaster, is my recollection, because I wanted to have everything fixed in the one day. I wanted to come in and I was so anxious in the lead up and I wanted to learn everything I needed to know and leave that day with a new baby who was sleeping completely differently. The clinician who was working with us noticed that I was very distressed and suggested at that point that we needed more intensive support and that a residential stay would be better for us. And she was able to fast track that for us based on the amount of distress I was experiencing on the day.
Tweddle's residential stays consist of 4 nights at their early learning centre, where clinicians, nurses and psychologists help families develop new settling strategies tailored to their children's needs.
Some of the most important strategies to support sleep and settling is to really get to know that individual baby. Looking at their temperament and their character and the way they're communicating helps us to learn what we call subtle cues. That's their really early signs that they're tired, which might start happening maybe 30 minutes before they're due for sleep, to the more potent cues, which would be yawning, back arching, crying. So helping a parent to understand what those subtle cues look like means that we can respond to that infant's needs before they get to that potent level of distress.
I think when we came in, we were very obsessed with ensuring that Celeste went down at a certain time. But when we would come into, say, the playroom, I think the clinicians were very good at helping us reframe that sort of way of thinking and adopt a more personalised approach so that we could actually watch Celeste as she got gradually more tired and make suggestions when we could start making a move towards, putting her down.
Where's the lion?
We would put her down, leave the room, and then the staff would stand with us and give us cues on when we might re-enter the room, what we might do when we go in, and also pick up on if we were getting quite anxious or distressed, and then let us know perhaps when we should swap with the other person as well.
The new strategies learnt at Sleep School can make an enormous difference, but above all else, Tweddle's staff aim to ease families' anxieties around their parenting skills.
We're surrounded by social media platforms and news publications that will say this is what a typical infant should look like and should be doing and should be sleeping. And the reality is there's no right or wrong. Babies and infants grow and develop in all different shapes and sizes. And that's important for the work that we do here, for families to go away and to feel empowered and understand that they're the expert. They're the expert in their home, and we're just here to support them to identify the strengths that they have.
I no longer felt like a failure if things didn't go well, because I learned that all I could do was set up the environment and it was up to Celeste to decide if she was going to go to sleep or not. So I was much less anxious, And we also got on along a lot better because we felt like we had a plan and we were less stressed about how to go about getting her to sleep. What else can we see? She's learning every day and so are we. And together we've been able to problem solve little hurdles that have come up along the way.